Hello, my friends. The bathroom here, it feels like I'm getting ready on one of the Vogue get ready things. It literally feels like that with the marble. Also, wait, where did he go? Oh, there he is. Look who's with me. I hope you can see him. I can't see if you can see him because the little record button is right there. And then apparently, there's 5-star service here. Ben just brought me this. I said it was supposed to be a rose, and I think it is. So I'm wearing a top that has a big red rose on it. And I don't know if I brought red lipstick, but we'll worry about that in a little while. I'm gonna grab some eyeshadow base. I'm using my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas today. And I wanna use this palette. I've been using this palette. It's been packed with me since I've been traveling so much. And it's the ColourPop Beauty and the Beast. And I just love this palette. I love it so much. So I think I want to go kind of here, maybe a little bit of that. I don't want the eyes to be too dark. Ends up with the smoky eye. Y'all know how it gets around here. So I'm going to smooth that. I hope you can hear the birds. I have the door open. It's so delightful. There's so many different birds. I'm in case you missed it, I'm now in California. But there's so many different birds here. And I saw an actual bluebird, not a blue jay, which I know the difference in case some avid bird watchers are watching me and judging my bird knowledge. And where I'm positioned, I'm gonna have to use a little hand mirror today. So if you're like, what are you doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing, my best. And it's also very funny because I put myself out into the public every single day and I don't care about being judged on makeup. All of the wildness that I do, but I am like, no, I know the difference between a bluebird and a blue jay. Oh, and Rose and Ben Beauty just posted an amazing deal. I do want to tell you about it. We have a little Mothers and Others deal. So cute. So it's the Bronze and Brighten duo. It's the C40, which I'm going to teach you how to use it today. Let's do that video really quickly. And then it's this brush, the C30. So this one's gonna be more for precision. You see me use this one with the micellar water, kind of to place concealer. It's just about precision. But we have that duo right now for $50. That's a good deal. So back to this palette. I hope it's still available. Y'all don't see me talk a lot about the collabs. Oh, look how pretty that is. I'm not gonna do that today. Lord have mercy. We'll save that for next Feral Monday. Ooh, I'm like mesmerized. But this palette is really, really nice. I like the color scheme and I like how it has just spicy enough colors, but you could even use that spicy blue as a liner. But again, I have to resist because I have an idea. So I'm gonna take that on an E28 and I'm just gonna press that into my socket. See how I'm just pressing it in there? But it is important. See how I'm getting definition and I'm pressing? Isn't that wild? But what I am doing is I'm careful where I pick it up. Okay, I'm picking up 2 more swipes of that. You'll see that I didn't really go past the dark colored bristles. And you're thinking, this is tedious. I don't want to know this. But if you ever want to get precision just by tapping, like what I'm doing here, I was saying where you pick up the shadow really, truly matters. And then you're thinking, oh my God, that's gonna take me forever. Once you start doing it, you can't stop. You just understand how to pick up shadow. Then it becomes so much faster because then you don't pick up too much. Then you don't overblend. Then you don't mess up anymore. And then once you don't mess up anymore, you're invincible. And I'm using my E28. This is, when I think of eyeshadow brushes, this is the exact brush I think of. And the shape really, we did it a little bit thinner, and the reason I did it a little bit thinner is because I'm picking up the shadows, because I wanted to be able to kind of carve if I needed to. Again, remember how that shadow was just on the one side? So it's a little bit thinner, and then of course, the fibers. The fibers are truly where it shines because the eyeshadow isn't getting absorbed into the bristles. It's going where we place it. I'm gonna give it a quick wipe, and then I'm just gonna do some nice tapping, just to kind of transition that up towards the brow bone. I know I say it a lot, but the brushes really and truly just do the work for you. I think I want to go pretty warm. So I'm going to reach for this shade, grab it on the side. I'm going to pick up more, and the reason why is because now I want to place it here. So I'm going to pack it there. I'm not going to have to reach back in. I'm sorry I'm so low. We're working with what we have here. So I'm pressing, I'm packing. And when I say packing, you're using the side of the brush and you're really building up that color, and that's what packing is. So now, see what I just did, that product side towards the ceiling, so I can bring it over this way a little bit. Now I want to make sure that I don't have too much. So I'm wiping out on Sheila. Again, I just could never soil those. Ooh. And then I'm taking the side and I'm just gonna lightly transition that into the first shade. And I think that's as dark as I'm gonna go with the socket. And listen, y'all are so in tune with me that you can you're like, what's going on? And you know what? If you're like, what's up, bros? What's going on here? Something's a little different. Y'all, my allergies. I have been, wheezing. Because I know y'all are going to notice my voice sounds a little bit different. I don't know what that ruckus is. Lord have mercy. So Thursday I'm going to be flying back home. I might not be able to do a tutorial. I will try. But I know I definitely won't have time for my sit down. That's why I'll do the sit down walkthrough tomorrow. But I wanted to give you a sneak peek because I have absolutely fallen in love with these K-Skin. These are the Isle Lip Balm SPF 30. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple warnings. They are heavily scented of sunscreen. You just smell sunscreen. It's there. I don't mind it. Another thing, these are sticky. But do you know what? We have made sticky such a bad thing. It's not bad if you want it to last. I have never seen a gloss last this long, and I wear them for the glam looks. I was thinking about wearing one tonight because it's so pretty. Absolutely fallen in love. I bought all of them. Someone actually gave me one of my friends, Sarah, she gave me one, and then I bought the other two. But I just feel very passionate about them and I love them. So now I'm going to do a really, really, really wet base. This one is a lot more wet than Clean Canvas. And I'm going to put this is the milk one. I'm going to put this on my lid for the shimmer. So this with a shimmer is delectable. So let's grab a brush. I'm actually going to grab the C30 because I want a little bit more precision. And then I'm just going to place it more towards the front. And it can go right on top of the Clean Canvas. As long as we press in the shadow. See how much more tacky and wet that is? Nice. Now I'm going to wipe my brush off on Sheila. You know, where I'm staying, there are just trucks, just big dump trucks. There's just tons of them. But I'm still going to use this brush. Now, this brush is basically your fingertip but better. And the reason why is because precision. But why it acts like your fingertip is because the bristles are so tightly packed in there. And then the brush is so thin. So instead of the bristles absorbing, which none of them do, but this in particular, because of the way that it's shaped, how flat it is, the way that there's no fluff whatsoever, it picks up shimmer, which I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to go with this color. So it picks up shimmer perfectly, and then it just places it. So I pick up a lot, okay? We're not trying to act like we're not picking up a lot. I have no explanation at this point. Look at that. It turns it more into a liquid metal. And I know this is going to seem really scary, but it's not. And if you ever want to really enhance one of your eyeshadows, what we're going to do is we're going to take the tiniest amount of micellar water. See how the brush is just wet? Focus. Okay, it's not going to focus. Worst tutorial ever. Okay, there you go. You can see that it's wet, but it's not just absolutely dripping. And then I'm going to pick up that same shade. And what we're doing is we're acting like this is our mixing medium. It's not going to mess with the wear time. And I'm fine with it this way, but you're just going to see it really, see, it just turns it into something special and does not take off your makeup. It's just kind of bringing that powder shadow into a more liquid form. And then once it dries down, it absolutely does not move. This is not a weird hack. Y'all know we don't do hacks that don't work. It's not really a hack. It's just makeup, just a makeup technique. If you see me use makeup hack as a hashtag, that's just for discovery. We don't do things to get views because then y'all are going to come back and be like, it didn't work, it worst. So early on, I knew I didn't want to do things just to get views. I wanted to do things that really worked and they actually help people. And that's what I've been doing. So I really wanted a really wet lid almost, and the micellar water's given us that. But I will say, I mean, obviously there's a technique, and I wouldn't just do a video and be like, use micellar water as a mixing medium. You have to understand that you have to use the smallest amount. Your brush really doesn't even look wet. It's just a little damp looking. It looks a little glistening. Now I'm gonna take the E28 again, and I'm just gonna tap in here and just soften the top part where it's kind of transitioning into the socket. Is there a darker shimmer? No, that's the darker shimmer. See, I'm going to get wild. Don't let me get wild. I will get wild. Now I'm going to teach you a really awesome way that I've been doing liner. And I feel like this is going to work for all eye shapes. So love these. And I think this one is my favorite because it's not, you see that? It's the darkest gray brown. It's just fantastic. I love this formula. But I will say to just take your finger and warm it up a little bit. It doesn't dry out, but it does need kind of just a little bit of warmth. See that difference now? It's just a little bit warmer. It's gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna grab it on an E28. Okay, it's important to see how I'm picking it up. I'm picking it up right in the center, right in the middle. And then all I'll do is tap it on my lash line. And notice I'm tapping at an angle. I might extend because it's an evening party, but I want to give you a really quick, I picked up a little bit more and I'm focusing most of it at the lash line and letting it, I'm letting it transition upwards. And that's going to create lift to the eye without having to take it out of the socket. See that? We have a little bit more lift, a little bit more of a secret cat eye, if you will. And I just feel like it's so much easier to work with than a liquid liner. It's just a really forgiving shade. We also, it gives the depth of black, but then it's so much more forgiving than just a very stark black shade. So I can't recommend this duo right here enough. It's so good. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to link the brush, obviously. E27. If you ever wondered, E is for eye, obviously, but 27 was my daddy's race car. So I'm going to take that. Now, if we want to get a little bit more spicy, see how I'm doing this, the pointy end towards my water line. And then I'm just kind of stamping and wiggling it. It really is that easy. It's so easy. I mean, there was this brand that said that is easy, so let's make that brush. And it wasn't us. But that's how easy it is with this brush. By the way, what I just mentioned, I would never name names. That's just the wind in the door. But the brand copied this brush, and a lot of times y'all send it to me, but it's really flattering. I would never be upset. It honestly just makes it kind of reassures me that like I have a good grasp on this. But listen, I can't leave well enough alone. I can't. I want it to be smudgy, so I cleaned up with micellar water and a C30. I cleaned up underneath here, but I went a little bit higher because I want a smudgy liner. So I'm going to take my black liner. This is that Sephora collection one that we talked about. Here, I don't even need that. And then I'm going to take that underneath here and blend it into the gray. I can't be tamed. I can't. And then just give it one more little tap over. Don't go over the black. Just give it one little tap over here. Wait, that's the wrong brush. That one didn't have anything on it. This is the one that has the cream shadow on it. This kind of melt the two together. And now we have this is a really easy way to do a smudge wing. So I've been saving time and not wearing falsies, but I do my little lash hack thing. Again, we just say hack. I'm powdering my lashes, making sure I don't have any skincare on them. We want them very, very, very dry. Then I'm gonna curl them. This is my favorite. Oh, let me clean it really quickly. Where are my alcohol wipes? Hang on. All right, so there we go, nice and cleaned. Alcohol wipes are always a really good thing to have if you're doing your makeup. That way you can just clean tools really quickly. When I say tools, I wouldn't do it to my brushes, but something like this, absolutely. Especially really anything that's going near your eye. So I almost gave away I guess it's one of my new favorite mascaras, but I can't show you what it is because it's not released. but I'm just going to use this one. It's waterproof. I had it in my kit. It's not that it's just exceptional. I just have it. So don't feel like you need to go buy the YSL one. I do think that it's very voluminizing, and that's what I'm wanting here. I want a lot of lash because I want them to almost look like falsies because I don't want to put them on. And I'm just going to keep loading this on, but a lash comb is so important. There's one. All right, let me clean this too. All right, now I'm just going to run this through, and then I'm going to do another coat, and I want them just to look mega. Let's do a little underpainting moment. I feel like all of my foundations are going to be a hair too light right now. So we'll do this. I'm using that Too Faced stick. I really love it. I like it. I like it a lot. Jawline. It does smell like a Tootsie Roll. So if you're sensitive to scents, we're going to skip this because I just put Halloween candy on my face. We're using our C33. And we are working on restocking. Trying our best. I'm just so happy y'all like the brush. And I'm just gonna tap, always tapping. Dragging can take away pigment. It can really change it, and we won't get that same pigmentation. I'll just kind of drag it away and blend it away. So by pressing and tapping, you keep that pigment, but you're getting a really nice even blend. I'm gonna grab a little bit from my face, and I'm actually gonna take it in here into my socket. And since it's a cream, it'll just really smooth. Ooh. Now I'm still gonna do bronzer as well. I'm kind of just using this cream as a mix-in. That's what I'm doing. Now I gotta figure out what foundation I wanna wear. I think I'm just gonna do a hair of my Cover FX. And then I'll do the rest of it a little bit more concealer based. Give it a good shake. So I'm using M3, but M3 is a little too light, so that's why you see me put a lot of the bronzer underneath it. And I also just really want a small amount. Nice little underpainting moment. Okay, where's my C42? There it is. It's looking right at me. Get over here. Now this will help adjust that. This is one of my favorite things to do right when summer starts to come around and I don't want to have to go buy a new foundation. And then I'm going to do my Natasha Denona concealer because it is once again my perfect shade. And then where's that little, oh, there's that little secret brush. So this brush is coming soon. In fact, make sure that you're signed up for emails, because I have a feeling that this one is going to be, it's going to go fast. Obviously, we're going to do our regular amount of inventory, but I just feel that this one is the one that y'all have been eyeballing. And now before this completely sets the mascara, I'm going to powder my lash curler, just whatever loose powder you got, and then I'm going to set and curl. And then I'll hold it for about 20 seconds. And there you go. I mean, this was so good, but now it's going to stay like that, and it looks like falsies. Now, let's talk about the C40 really quickly, since we have a special on it, special on Owl 9, Blue Light Special. So I'm gonna take this. Okay, this brush, the way that it's shaped, I know it can feel a little intimidating, but it's not. It's a very classic shape, but again, let's go into the fibers, we could go into a million different things. But what we're gonna do here is I'm not gonna pick it up over here, I'm just gonna pick it up more towards the front of the brush. See that? And it picks up the product so evenly. So then what I'm going to do is, I actually have wet foundation on right now. I am going to, what I like to do is I normally do a couple taps here. Okay, and then I'll take it over here. See this short side? That's gonna face the ear. It's important for you to see. All right, I'm gonna let this slide go, and then we're gonna move on to application. And it's not really even about, oh, it just needs to really line up perfectly. No. But it's just kind of a good idea, okay? You can kind of see it there. And then it's gonna fit perfectly here. And just by stamping, it transitions. So you see the brush isn't flopping back and forth. All you do is stamp. But it's also important to note I'm not holding it here. See, when I hold it here, or if I even hold it here, we will get flop. Now I gotta do this really quickly just to fix it. Boom, fixed. But if I hold it back here, look at that. Whee! It's important how you hold it. I'm picking up one more tap. And again, I'm applying this on the wet foundation. And don't be afraid for bronzer, same thing here. Again, it's really about how you hold it. And here I like the longer side to point towards the center of my forehead. So I'll just switch it around. If you'll go back and look at, and then in here, I just put it here, but if you'll go back and look at really any of my videos, I always hold my brushes very far back. It's one of the reasons the brushes are so long. It really does change application, and for the better, in my opinion. I'm gonna build this up a little bit more on this side. And then I'll just kind of buff it down the neck. Oh, and I'm using my favorite bronzer, my Kiko Milano. This is shade 101. I just love it so much. Okay, so in my travels, if I hadn't been traveling and I hadn't just stumbled into a Sephora, I would have never bought this. But I want to see it. I haven't even tried it yet. I thought we could try it together. So this is the Dior blush. This is the more lavender shade. It's called Pink Lilac. Okay, I meant lilac. Please forgive me. I actually just had a little bit of a coughing spell. I'm okay. Just my allergies. So let's see what's going on here. I mean, it's so pretty. It is, but I don't want y'all to feel like you're pressured to buy this. Don't feel any pressure. Now, if you want to go get it, I want you to go get it. But don't look at these and go, oh my God, if I only had that Dior blush, because they're just, now, as an artist, I want to see this. This is what I do every single day. These are basically my little mixing mediums. Think of it that way. They're my paints. They're what I do. But this particular formula is not spectacular. I like it, but I like this more, and this is more affordable. If I can get into it, it's literally the easiest thing ever to open. But this is the ColourPop. Look how much I've already used. I've went to town on this. I'm gonna add some of this on top because I like it so much. Yeah. Add a little to my bronzer. And then now I'm gonna set, if I can find my puff. The puff has ran away. Now, I wanna use as little powder as possible because this is still gonna be a daytime event for a little while. So I took a little bit of Capulets. Okay, the liquid shadow, let me show you. Okay, there's a trick here. Are you ready? Okay. Remember, liquid shadow, it can be any liquid shadow, whatever color. This one is going to match what I've got going on here really nicely. So I'm really smoothing that out. And then I'm going to tap it a little bit more around my fine lines. And the reason why is because this liquid shadow is going to dry. And then that means it's going to set. And then that means I use less powder in that area, if any. I'm actually not going to put any powder around my fine lines. I'm going to take that powder from about here down. All right, we got our Rosemary Beauty Puff. We got a little bit of powder. Givenchy powder, by the way. Okay, and I'm going to avoid powdering underneath my eye. Isn't that cool? It's a really good tip. Actually, I'm gonna be gone a while. I don't even want to think about touching up. I don't want to. I'm close. Oh, I sprayed a little bit of, so what I did is I actually just blocked off my forehead and I sprayed a little bit of this stuff, the hydrating mist, because I'm in California and I get dry. I get off the plane and I start crusting. So I like this. This is actually in my purse, like with me. But I didn't want the middle of my forehead to get shiny, so I did kind of block that off. And I have a new Kiko Milano lip liner that I just cannot stop wearing. It's called Gingerbread. I'm gonna link it. But first I'm gonna put eye lipstick on. And when I wear these, they do not move. And they look like I just applied them all day. I actually did like a 12-hour wear test and it looked perfect. And I did it with a red one too. Okay, this is my lip liner. And I kind of blend them together. And then again with my little precision, let me wipe off my brush. I should wipe it off with a little bit of my micellar water. This is the one I use for the shimmer. Perfect. And then it'll dry instantly. And then just to perfect. You understood what I said. I'm a ventriloquist now. Okay, for my bird nerds, that's what I call myself. I hear a bird call. Of course it stops the moment, but it sounds like a cardinal, but I know it's not a cardinal. And I need to investigate further. And I'm just using a little bit of foundation with my C30 to clean up my lip line. This is something I always do. I love a clean lip line. And the reason I love this lip liner so much is obviously I love this formula. It does not move with this lipstick, but I love it because it's so cool toned. And I believe these are $12.50. They're so affordable. And I reach for them more than I reach for my super high-end lip liners. All right, now that we're all blended, and by the way, you can absolutely blend with your finger. Just tap though, same situation. Just give it a really nice tap. And then I'm gonna top it with my gloss. And this gloss is designed to go on top of this and it will not remove it, but other glosses would. Oh, I hear a bug. I must shut the door and find a way to coerce him back outside. Fun fact, I'm not really afraid of bugs. I am mindful of bugs, but bugs don't scare me. Snakes don't scare me either. That didn't even scare me. What scares me? So alligators don't technically scare me, but the thought of them is just wild. And then of course sharks, that's wild. Like right now, the Pacific Ocean, I'm taking a gander at it and I'm just like, y'all are out there because they're surfers and they are just out there willy-nilly hanging out with great white sharks. But again, I'm not like terrified or like, oh my gosh, no. I would still get like, no, let me be real. I don't really like to get in the ocean, no matter what ocean. I don't care. Great white free, there are still critters in there that think of me as a delicious morsel. So I miss get in at your ankles at the beach. All right, we're done. I'm gonna go fluff up my hair, give it a little bit more style, and I'm gonna go hang out at the Live Tinted party. And you know what? Dagnabbit, Deepica's actually one of my dear friends. I love her with all my heart. And you know, I don't normally go to parties and take pictures and stuff, but I would support her. So I might take a picture while I'm there with her and I might post it. All right. I love y'all so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you tomorrow.